Super Rugby Unlocked. Round number 5. The Saturday games, of which there were 2. I will admit, after staying up till around midnight to watch the All Blacks and the Wallabies play, I did watch both of these games delayed. And I watched them both at the same time. But overall feelings is pretty good. Because yesterday's game, which was the Cheetahs and the Sharks, that was less than a kind of spectacle. Like, it had a good finish, but the majority of that game was not the easiest watch. So it was a bit of a refreshing one to watch these two games. Admittedly, for different reasons, the Stormers gave the Griquas a bit of a hiding, but the Bulls and Lions I thought was a proper local derby match, and finished a pretty tight one. Lead changed, so yeah, pretty happy overall. But I will go over the games quickly. The key moments, stats, and you guys can let me know your thoughts. The first one, which was the Griquas and the Stormers, as I mentioned, bit of a hiding. 39 points to 6, 6 tries to none. This is the kind of result that I was expecting prior to seeing the Griquas and the Pumas play. I was just expecting them to be a cut below the other teams, and it seems like some of the teams, like the Pumas and the Griquas, have lost some players, which is an unfortunate thing to have during the middle of the season, and it's not helped things. But yeah, the Griquas are, after this result, firmly at the foot of the Super Rugby Unlocked ladder in 7th without a win. The Stormers move up into 2nd, so a good result for them after being pretty disappointing last week, you would have to say. At times, though, I felt like, especially towards the end, maybe the Griquas had kind of given up a bit, and there was some defending that was a wee bit lacking towards the end. When you're that many points down, it's kind of hard to stay up for it. Fushi, interestingly, the prop, had a big line break early. Unfortunately, Edwin van der Merwe went off injured early, which was not the ideal start for the Stormers. The Griquas were holding out. The Stormers went through a bunch of phases. Rikus Pretorius had a big line break, but eventually Ernst van Rijn got the first try on 7 minutes. And it was all from a line-out steal. I think Galant beat like the first Griquas attacker, and then the Stormers just put it through the hands, and Van Rijn was the guy who went over. They missed the conversion, and the kicking was a little bit of a concerning one for the Stormers. But 5-0. Griquas kick a penalty on 12 to make it 3-5. That's a bit close. Galant still looking dangerous. The Stormers are dangerous on the left wing. Eventually they kick a penalty to make it 8-3. Take the margin out to back to that 5 points. Willemse on like 17 minutes had a moment which kind of encapsulates him as a player at the moment. Like, he's so hot and cold. He's so like brilliant or disastrous. Like, in his own 22, he needed to clear the ball. There was a man coming to close him down. So he kind of shaped a kick, steps the man, so the man goes flying past him. It's an ultimate cool customer moment. He's got time to clear, and then he just knocks the ball on. So he goes from hero to zero pretty quickly, but it doesn't cost the Stormers anything. They're able to get out of jail. Fushi gets the next try of the game, which is quite some time later on 33 minutes. Again, Galant with a step and offload, and Fushi's able to go over. So it's 15 points to 3, pretty comfortable. Just before halftime, the Stormers got a penalty on halfway from a scrum. They took a shot but missed it, so it was halftime. 15-3 is comfortable without being a hiding at that time. 41 minutes, the Griquas kicked their second penalty of the game to make a second half, to make it 15 points to 6, but that's where their scoring finishes. And you can't go through a whole half of rugby, pretty much, without scoring any points. They did miss another one, actually, on 46, and I guess that was a bit costly because the scoreboard blows out a bit from there. David gets a try. There's a loose Griquas pass. The Stormers just kind of hack it through. And David's is the first man to get there, and they missed the conversion, so it's 20 points to 6. Dan du Plessis gets a try on 51 minutes. Again, Galant with the build-up. He gets it to Pretorius, who goes on a good run, and Pretorius gives it to du Plessis to finish it off. 27 points to 6. They did kick that conversion. 64 minutes. Augustus gets one. It's too easy from the Stormers, and that's one where I'm really writing too easy. Griquas' defense at that point is a bit token. Davids, he's got the fleet feet, and he goes over left wing, and he's got enough vision as he gets caught to pass the ball to Augustus, who's able to just kind of barge over. They missed that conversion, so 32-6, and Willemse gets a try for himself. Again, a bit easy, and he gets that conversion, and it's a really good kick. 39 points to 6. So, yeah, a bit of a second half riot from the Stormers. Maybe it's a fitness thing, or I don't know, but I did feel like it was a bit too easy for the Stormers in the end, but they've got game breakers everywhere, man. They got guys who can just cut you to bits. Run meters finished 441 to 206 in favor of the Stormers. Kind of no surprises there. Defenders beaten 28 to 10. Massive amount. Clean breaks 9 to 3 in favor of the Stormers. Offloads 22-3. They were just playing like, guys having fun, to be fair. Penalties conceded 11 to 7. That's actually pretty low, with the Griquas conceding 11. The goal kicking was at 50% for the Stormers, which is, it's okay when you finish 39-6, but in closer games, that's not going to cut it. So he goes 3 from 6. This is Damien Willemse. So 3 from 6 with the conversions and 1 from 2 with the penalties. Tackling percentage, the Stormers were at 84. They made 52 out of 60, which is, pretty respectable, whereas the Griquas finished at 68%. They missed 28 tackles, which correlates directly with those 28 defenders beaten from the Stormers. So yeah, not ideal. I thought Galant looked everywhere, man. The guy had 6 offloads, and they all seemed to be pretty good ones. His individual stats didn't actually end up looking that flash, but I felt like he was everywhere. Davids had 6 defenders beaten and 49 run meters. For the Griquas, they still had their moments. I mean, Jonathan, what's his name, Frank? He slammed Dan Duplessis into touch at one point. Big boom for over tackle, which was really pleasing. So there was defense. It's just at times it was a wee bit weak, and the Stormers' scrum was pretty dominant as well. So good win for the Stormers, like I said. They have to play the Cheetahs at home next week, so that will likely be a bit more of a challenge. The Griquas are at home, I believe, to the Sharks. So the challenge continues for them. They'll want to improve their performance levels from this week. The next game, the Lions and the Bulls, local derby. Obviously, it's a pity there's no fans there, but that's just the world we live in at the moment. But yeah, pretty entertaining game. The lead changed a couple of times, and the Lions, they got their last points right at the death, so it wasn't actually any point at the end at risk of the Bulls losing it. But the Lions do manage to finish with that losing bonus point. They're still 5th on the log. The Bulls are top. But yeah, for this one, I think the Lions won the first few scrum penalties, so the Bulls did get some throughout the course of the game. Elton Yankees kicked a penalty to make it 3-0 to the Lions early, but the Bulls equalised virtually a few minutes later, so it was 3 apiece. Again, kind of like I was talking about Damien Willemse with the hero to zero thing. Like Elton Yankees, he did some bloody good stuff. Like one of his kicks for touch was like pinpoint, like 6 meters out. The Lions didn't capitalize on it, but like on 8 minutes, he did a cross kick in his own 22, and it did not work. It was a risk reward play, and it failed pretty big time, which was unfortunate. And they were fortunate not to concede any points directly after that. However, the Bulls did get the first try through Joe Funsale. That was a big maul. The Lions contested the line out, and they missed it, which was maybe a bit more in allowing the Bulls to be able to set and really get their drive forward, but they couldn't stop it. It was 10-3. The Lions on 23 minutes, I thought they were looking pretty good. They had a good attacking line-out chance, but they missed it, and that was a bit costly with a couple line-outs in this game where they lost the line-out and knocked it on straight after the line-out. So they had their chances, man. That being said, after the Bulls exit, the Lions come straight back down, and Ordendale gets a try. It's a Lombard with a really nice pass. The Lions had got eight phases, I think. So, yeah, good period of play. They did miss the conversion, though, so it's 8 points to 10, 2 points behind. Lions had a big period of pressure. Couldn't really convert. The Bulls' defense was pretty solid, unable to really break them down. But that being said, Vandenberg, the scrum half for the Lions, he did manage to sneak over for a try. It's after a maul, and the maul kind of got sacked, but they had advantage, and he just saw a gap, dived low at legs, and managed to get the ball over the whitewash. So yeah, 15 points to 10 at halftime. The Lions are in front. Second half, there's a bit of a grass cutter tackle on Inyakane. He has to go off, which is unfortunate because I think he might have got penalised a couple of times at scrum time, but he was still looking pretty good, I thought. A bit later on, the Bulls get a penalty. It's 15-13, so pretty tight. Van Staden goes close for the Bulls. The TMO has a look, but they don't award a try. However, that being said, just like the Lions earlier, how they'd missed a chance pretty much straight after, as the Lions are trying to get their exit play going, Hans gets a hell of an intercept, outstretched, as the Lions are throwing the ball around just outside their own goal line, and he does not need an invitation. He just grabs it, man, and outstretched arms grab the ball, so it's 20 points to 15. Bulls back in front for the first time. No, back in front. 58 minutes, the Bulls get a big scrum penalty, and they kick that to make it 23-15. 23-15, they're looking pretty good value, to be honest. But man, maybe the try of the match is it's Similane's try. That one is worth stopping this video and going to watch the highlights if they're up by now, because they should be, because I'm recording this well after the game's finished. Similane's try was phenomenal, man. The Mornay Stain just hoofs the ball down the other end. The Lions counter attack. It ends up with Similane. He beats like 3 defenders. It's a phenomenal effort, man. The guy is magic. So it's 23-22. 1 pointer. But then Aronsa gets a try for the Bulls. Curtly Aronsa. That was just the Bulls solid, man. Like, just solid attacking play. Just through the hands. They made it look so simple, and he puts the hammer down. 22 points to 30. I wrote, is that the game? Probably that's the game. And sure enough, it ended up being the game. They did manage to get, like I said, a penalty right at the death of the Lions, but it just puts them back within the 7. There was no chance of them winning it at the end. So, yeah, man, proper entertaining game. As I said, after that Cheetahs game against the Sharks yesterday, we needed a bit of a boost and a good Stormers performance, unfortunately for the Griquas. And then these two teams really going hammer and tongs. Yeah, pretty satisfying stuff, to be fair. Run meters finished 278 to 147. That's in favour of the Lions. Defenders beaten 13 to 8 in favour of the Lions. Clean breaks 3 apiece. But look at the Bulls D, man. They make 95 tackles, miss 13. Whereas the Lions only had to make 61, but they missed 8. So also the goal kicker, man, Mornay Stains at 100%. Guys looking the business. Elton missed a couple, just one. He missed the conversion. He didn't miss any penalties. Also, Lions line out 79%. The Bulls was at 87. So just kind of those key areas. I think at one moment, Dwayne Vermeulen, he flattened out on Yankees, but I'm good on Elton for trying to stop the man. And he did manage to hold his run enough to be brought down. So good effort on a losing side. Similane finishes 69 run meters and 8 defenders beaten. Nizam Khan from the bench comes on and makes 11 from 11 tackles. Good hands in one of those, in the Aronsa try as well from him. So, yeah, the Lions have got the Pumas at home next week, and the Bulls are on the bye. So they will go into that last round a bit refreshed. But yeah, that's the Saturday games. As I said, pretty entertaining stuff. I was pretty happy with that. Well rested after sleeping in as much as I could with 2 young kids around. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on these games, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.